Alright, Bruce, so look. So I pulled the carb out. Super easy, right? 2 bolts, and then the fuel line, which that's the overflow. There's the fuel line, merely a circlip or a hose clamp, one of the squeezy spring-loaded kind. So this is the needle, and it sits inside. It sits inside of there. Okay? Real easy. Just unthreads. That's the throttle cable. Screws onto the top. The needle, that's the choke side. See the needle in there? And then the slide regulates the fuel. Okay? So the needle's sitting in there. Well, mine was stuck, so I just shot it with WD-40. Let it sit for about 5 minutes so that this would pop out. Now you can see all the resin. All that orange shit is resin. It should be brass. So then, after I got that loose, I pulled off the float bowl. Just 3 simple screws. Now they're brass and they strip easy. So when you pull them, I suggest making sure you have a very good number 2 bit, not just a shitty one out of your DeWalt case. And then use your impact, not a screwdriver. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but the hit of the impact makes them come out easy because they strip super easy, okay? Now, all that orange stuff in the bottom of that bowl is resin from the gas. That bowl should be greenish, maybe even slightly, what is that, cast aluminum color. But anyway, so once you do that, once you get that float bowl off, usually there's fuel in it. You'll drain your fuel, or a separated fuel, and then take it, and if you have a Kim dip tub, do that. If not, I'm just going to spray it with carb cleaner, standard old carb cleaner, and let it sit. Okay, there's the inside. That is your needle, or excuse me, your jet, your main jet. Oh man, that thing is so gummed up, and it looks like somebody tried to pull it and broke it. This is your float. Okay, right there, see the tines of the float? They're pressing on a needle. That thing's sliding, so that's good. That's how your fuel fills the bowl. When the float gets enough fuel in that main, in the bowl, from the main, it'll fill up and boop, it closes that needle. And then as it takes fuel, it opens up and drops that needle. And as it floats, it closes that needle. So that thing should move freely. And I'm referring to that little guy right there. Okay? Watch it again. See it move? Up, down. Up, down. That's good. That's free. This is just a little pin right there that you can punch out. It's not, doesn't have a detent or anything. It's just kind of friction fit. So it just pushes out from one side to the other. That's pretty gummy on that side. If you need to remove your bowl. Sometimes, like especially on your bike, I've had your bike a number of times leak gas. And it's because this little needle is stuck open. So you have to pull that pin, and then you pull your bowl out, and that needle will come with it, and then just clean it with carb fluid or excuse me, carb cleaner, and put it back. If it absolutely needs a new O-ring on it, then you can go get one for $3 at the Yamaha dealer. Next, this guy is just slips on there, so I'll clean him, and you can see this is an 8mm. That will come right off. Let me find my 8mm, and I'll show you. So that dude, oh, I'm sorry, it's a 6mm. Let me see if I got a 7 or a 6. There's a 6. No, there's a 7. Let's see if it's a 7. I don't recall. It looks like it's a 7. Okay. So, same thing. I'd say use the impact, because the impact wrench has that extra little hit, which is actually really, in my opinion, a lot better on these tools, or on these items, because raw force just doesn't, I don't know, it tends to break things. See, that came right out. Okay, so this is one of your jets. I don't know if you saw that, but I know it's a shitty video. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube for you though. So that unthreaded, and it came right out, and you can see how gummy it is, and all those little ports need to get cleaned out. Okay, there's 12 of them. Then this guy at that end, I've never seen one in quite such bad shape, so I got to figure out what I got to do with that. Stuff's just flaking off. So that's something if you have a Kim dip. Okay, perfect. Now you can see I'm starting to reveal that it has a standard screw head, which is very common for these brass fittings in these damn carburetors. So once I get that cleaned out, that's another jet. So this will come out, it unthreads from in here. So it's the standard screw unthreading from this number 7 or 7 millimeter.